more of what Steph gets to do, and which is play off the ball and come off screens and be able to catch the pick and roll off the side on the run instead of everyone loading up to him up top. So I think obviously similar to what I feel like CP is going to do with Devin Booker, you guys got two young monsters next to you, and I'm sure you guys are going to both enjoy that opportunity of passing all your knowledge of the game because you're one of the greatest minds to ever play this game, man. So I'm excited because I think low key Atlanta's done really well in free agency. To me,
Yeah, they
done
did.
really
Yeah,
well.
we definitely did. I would say that. So I'm excited. I love the underdog mentality and being against all odds. So I'm looking forward to the challenge this year and getting us to where we need to be.
So are you guys are out in Atlanta now. You mentioned before. Are you settled in yet? You ready? Because I mean everything is right around the corner.
I'm not settled in yet, but I'm about a week away. Like I said, still getting everything down here close. Shipped from Cali, and getting about to get. I'm almost close.
Mm. What was it like? As I mentioned at the top of the show, you won a championship for the Boston Celtics. You won a championship for the Los Angeles Lakers. Has it kind of sunk in yet? Obviously, you still have more time, and until I finished, I didn't really kind of look back at anything I had done. But has it kind of sunk in that you've won a championship for the two greatest franchises in the sports history?
It's definitely sunk in, but as still being active right now. It's my main focus is obviously now going into the season so quickly is the Hawks and helping us grow as much as possible. But I see it, I hear it every day, understanding that what I've accomplished, but it still hasn't really sunk in for the most part. But I'm definitely aware and grateful for the opportunity to be able to just play this game for so long and one of the two most storied franchises in history. It's definitely a blessing to do what I did in my career so far.
What has it been like? Just being being a champion again. Like I got a chance to experience. Matt got a chance to experience, but being able to be back at the top, being at the mountaintop twice. How does that feel the second go around?
For me, it's even better. You obviously guys, you saw it. It's a crazy quick story. When I won back in '08, Eddie House son was always on the sidelines and around, and I was like, damn, that'd be dope. You know what I mean? Like if I had the opportunity to do the same thing, you know what I mean? So I wanted kids early. I had kids. My son's 9 now, and for him to be able to come experience that in the bubble, let alone rewinding back last year when I hit the game winning shot against the Celtics, he was there, on the floor. So, for him to be able to experience that, full circle, like me manifest that, 9, 10 years later or 12 years later, and to come full circle, it was definitely a surreal moment to be able to have him there with me, celebrating my second championship. So winning one at 20, 21, now I'm 34, it's a big difference. Like I said, just having people around me that I love, being able to witness and experience that as well with me. So it's been a hell of a run. Leaving the bubble it is what it is. But after leaving, I enjoyed myself with a nice vacation. We celebrated with the team. We kicked it with a couple of days in a couple of different cities, and just enjoying life every moment.
You gotta blow that picture up though. With you and your son on the court, that has to be in
Oh
the
yeah,
house.
oh absolutely.
Yeah.
I
And
can't
if
wait
you
to blow
ever
that up.
decide to drop an album, if you ever decide to
Yeah,
drop a
come
little,
on, man.
like Meek did a little quarantine pack of 4
Right.
songs, that gotta be the cover.
Yeah.
That gotta be the
Hell yeah, that was a beautiful picture. It's funny you said that because that was my best experience. Obviously, I got hurt going into the playoffs and didn't play as much obviously as I'd want to, and when I won a championship. But the best thing was the twins were there. So Steve Kerr let them fly on the plane, go to practice with us, be in the hotels, be in the locker room, be on the sideline, and when we had an opportunity to win it, these two little dudes are up next to Steph and Clay trying to hold the championship trophy and try to get the MVP trophy from KD. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that was the best moment. That's still, when I talk about it, what gives me chills about it is because that's something you can't pay for. That's something you can't,
Can't.
unless you're in the moment. You'll never understand what it means to that kids. And a little side note, I think a great thing. Your son is the same age the twins were when we won it, and I got them championship rings for Christmas, and they lost their minds. So I know
Oh yeah.
they make replica little rings too. If you needed an idea for a Christmas present, just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely. All right. Right. Yeah. You already hit Jason. Like line them up. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
hell yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
You mentioned real quick, which I thought was interesting because we haven't really talked about this, was leaving the bubble. What was it like going back into society? Because you guys, I mean, although you had an injury, you went and then you left and then you came back, but after being in the bubble, just the whole overall process, what was it like leaving?
It was definitely different. I might be able to always adjust in my environment wherever the case may be. So I kind of got right back to it. Went home with the kids for a couple of weeks. I actually went to Miami, chilled for a couple of days, went back to LA, and just kind of just kept it moving. You know what I mean? I'm really a homebody, so got the kids around, went to the house. Obviously during COVID, you can't do much anyway, so we kind of just chilled and relaxed. Got in some water, and then I took my vacation. So I was right back to it. And like you said, I was home for 6 weeks, so I didn't have to go through as much as my teammates did. So I was, in a certain sense, I was kind of blessed as far as I had to go through it, endure that long time. I think it was 102, 3 days. So I got to go home, come back, and it's kind of just lock in and go from there. Just focus on the goal.
Kind of got to restart. I don't know if it was rumors or not, but I heard you had questioned even coming back after that thumb injury. Was that rumors or was that true or?
I had questions. I wasn't even thinking about going into the bubble initially. That was a thought on my mind during the quarantine times. Like I said, just want to be closer to my fam. But after I broke my thumb, I didn't have doubts, or it's not that I didn't want to come back. It was just a matter of, this is my third surgery on my right hand in 2 years, you know what I mean? So just kind of understanding, like, I got to figure out what's my bone density in my hands, like, so I got to think differently of how I got to protect my body and, be able to, withstand whatever, I endure.
To me, you consider, we got a little segment where we talk about the point guards, and we call them point guards. And you a point guard. You consider you fall into that point guard category. What was it like bringing point guard Rondo, playoff Rondo, back in the bubble?
It was amazing. It was an unbelievable feeling. Just the mindset and the mentality that I had going into the bubble. I was able to completely focus everything I had into the game. I limited my distractions, and like I said, being in a bubble helped. You know what I mean? Like it's so much we can do. I'm not really a gamer. I started actually when I come back and breaking my hand. I started a game with the guys, but when we lost our first game, I was pissed and I couldn't really focus on gaming anymore. So, I was kind of locked in with the game plan and understanding what we can do to win and dominate the game. So, for me, it was just a straight mentality, just to try to get it done. That was the goal going into the season. That was the expectations for me and what I had for the team, and we all had the same goal. So. Our attention to detail, what Frank was able to do with us in the bubble, and like I said, during film, how guys were able to learn so quickly on the fly without even going through it on the court, really. We have a 5-10 minute walkthrough, but it was light. We had on hoodies, flip flops, like it wasn't, like a taped walkthrough or anything like that. Like I said, we was picking it up on the fly, going to the game and making quick adjustments.
Do you like when they call you playoff Rondo, like you're someone different?
See, Max, I did first thing I think, and Max, he broke it down differently on why people consider that. But my main thing is, and when you have a couple of days of rest, you have a couple of days of preparation, being able to lock in on one team, I think, everybody can elevate their game in a sense. It's about the dedication or the knowledge of the game to some levels. But when you got those things that come into play, it's easy. And also, during the playoffs, look at my career, I pretty much got more time in the playoffs. And I believe that's when coaches allow me to, I would say, like Isaiah said, to be a magician with the ball and manipulate the game, put people in spots to where I know a guy's going to make a mistake weak side, and I can, put my best shooter there if I want to get him a shot. So it's just, I feel like that's what coaches then allow me to do in the playoffs, is just be me, and they understand at that point, it's like, okay, cool, he wants the same thing I want, is a win. That's the only thing that matters. So. I think they give me more leeway to manipulate the game and make me, have an impact on the game.
That's what I get out of it. That's what I get out of it when they say playoff Rondo, because I know the difference between me in the regular season and the playoffs, and I know your mind is being one of the you and Chris Paul, the two smartest point guards in the game. I know your mind works different in the playoffs because every game counts, and we know you only got to be the best team in this series for 4 games. You know what I'm saying? Right. So you locked in, and you see different things to get these teams. So I understand when they call you playoff Rondo, because I know your IQ probably goes up 10 times higher in the playoffs.
But being able to work with a lot of great minds this year. I was a sponge as well. A lot of people always say I'm this. I don't want to be the smartest in the room. You know what I mean? Like, I got to surround myself next to Bron, Frank Vogel, Phil Handy, Jay Kidd, Mike Penberthy. Like, it's just a lot of great minds that. I'm like, give me everything you got. Like, shit, critique me, critique us. Like, what's your mindset? So, in the future, you never know where I want to be down the line as coaching or GM, whatever the case may be. It's like, I want to know, what the greats, what the greats mindsets are and how they think.
Yeah, that's where you belong.
That for sure. That's iron sharpening iron. But I wanted to touch on, going into a locker room with Bron, seeing that you guys are natural born leaders, your guys' mindset, the attention to detail, your discipline, your hunger to win. What was it like collabing? Obviously with one of the greatest players of all time from a mental standpoint.
It was a hell of an experience. Like I said, he was very vocal this year in film, as far as helping the young guys understand what they need to be and where we need to be as a team. So I was learning on the fly on the court, just picking his brain, studying him, his body of work, the way he moves. When I go back and watch film, I used to always watch film of myself, and then I watch film of him, AD. You know what I mean? Just understanding where they want the ball, where they're great at. So that's just that's just kind of how my mindset was going into it. Like I said, but to be able to play with him and pick his brain daily and understand his discipline of what he's done to be able to become, so dominant in year 17. It was fun to watch. It was great to be next to and understanding like, okay, this is elite. I played with so many elite players at a high level. Damn near, I would say more than 15 first ballot Hall of Famers. So to see the best at the best, it was a hell of a ride these last couple of years. Just I'm saying,
you came in and picked up where you left off, which was crazy to me after 6 weeks off and a broken thumb. You said a third surgery on the same hand. Tell me what it was like being a younger player in the playoffs, and then your mentality as a 15-year vet or a 14-year vet and coming back and knowing exactly where you need to be and how you can affect the game in the most, because you put up solid numbers, but just your presence on the court allowed LeBron to kind of exhale a little bit, and you were able to run the show on both sides of the floor.
Well, I mean, like I said, that's, to sum it up, really, it's just about trust. You know what I mean? Like, Bron was able to trust me, and I told him, like, I got you. You know what I mean? I damn sure don't want to let anybody down, myself down, but I'm not going to let anybody down. I'm going to make mistakes, but, if I make a mistake, I'm probably going to make up for it 2 times in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So that was just my mindset, and just having energy and want to become, the best player on the court. Even with him on the court, my mindset is to be the best player on the court at all times. And I was able to do that, like I said, with trust in my teammates and my coaching staff. So I have to give them credit. But just having a mindset, like I said, when I was 21 in the playoffs, going at it, I had 3 greats. A lot of other great teammates. But I had 3 greats behind me, and I knew they had my back from day one. So I did have to earn their respect, which was obviously expected, which was not a problem. But having them behind me, understanding they gave me leeway. They pumped the confidence in me. I saw those guys work at an early age, and it was only right that I follow suit. You know what I mean? Like I said, having that competitive drive, wanting to win. I was able to learn, some of the things I had and put it with theirs, and just pick each one of their brains. The P.J. Browns, Keon Dubins. Like I had a lot of great vets, Sam Cassell, Tyronn Lue. So they were on me daily, and they helped me grow. And then fast forward 14 years later, I was able to just come back, with the grace of God. Like I said, I broke my hand, and then I was supposed to play in the Portland series. 30 minutes before tip-off, my back locked up. I'm out another week. So I missed that series completely. So I'm thinking like, damn, I've been out for 7 months. I'm coming right back in the heat. So I had to bring in this understanding, like I said, make sure my body was right. I still could lift. Even though I broke my thumb, I was on it daily, lifting. I was doing yoga every other day, just trying to lock in and make sure my body was right coming back. So I don't have any lower extremity, mess up. So that was just my mindset. That's it.
I love hearing that. But take me back to 21-year-old Rondo being the floor general to win your first championship in Boston with, like you said, the likes of Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce. You guys had a hell of a team. I think Tony Allen was on that team too, wasn't he?
Yeah.
TA, you guys had a lot of different personalities, but you were the one. You were the from the outside looking in, you were the pulse of the team, but you were the youngest at the same time. So what was it like navigating that team, and what did you learn from actual on-the-court experience, and then also having Doc next to you? Because, I've personally, Doc would tell stories how you guys would butt heads sometimes because you see things one way, he sees things one way. So get into that shit for us.
So let's start with the Doc. Doc. Man, my first year, we lost 18 straight at one point. So I'm like, man, what the fuck, yo? Like, I can't get no burn. You know what I mean? I ain't even get me in the game. He's just, I don't know. I'm gonna get into a little bit. I can go crazy on it. We should get into it basically. So fast forward, the trade happened. You know, the same year 7 players go. KG, I heard KG said he wanted me to stay. So boom, we win a championship. But throughout that year, it was tough, yo. But Doc helped me get through it. Obviously, understanding. You know, I think he played with 2 Hall of Famers at the time, and just how to navigate and keep those guys happy. You know, I think I'm blessed and fortunate. Like I said, I played baseball, football, basketball, all 3 growing up. So I kind of had that leader mentality, leader mindset growing up as far as just being a believer, being a student of the game, whatever I wanted to accomplish. And that'll show those guys or earn their respect, you know, but with my knowledge and my work ethic. You know, you can't deny me or you can't, you know, not hand me the keys. And, you know, giving them granted, they didn't, you know, necessarily obviously want to give me the keys at first. I had to earn their respect. I did that throughout the season. They instilled trust in me. I communicated to my guys all the time on the court. You know what I mean? Like, I pride myself on having the most touches. There's a stat back in the day when Steve played, and I think one year he had beat me in most touches with his teammates. You know what I mean? As far as like coming back, running back on defense, touch, or coming out of timeouts, touch. Like, you know, that mindset, you know, also helped me kind of earn their respect and just the gathering that I could probably kind of bring teams together.
Bro, hey, I don't mean to cut you off, but see. That's how you set them apart. Who thinks about stuff like that?
That's crazy,
bro?
right? I love hearing this shit. I love it.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a stat.
Yeah, it was a stat. I saw Steve beat me one year. I was like, damn, that motherfucker beat me. I mean, like that's you know, that's just like I said how I am. But it wasn't forceful. Like I said, it's always, you know, me being the point. You know what I mean? Like everybody runs past the point guard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, okay, good shot, good deed. Way to set that pick. Like, it just, you know, positive encouragement and talking to my team to where, you know, we feel confident about what we're doing and we ready to lock the fuck in. Everybody know what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Only stat Jack knew was motherfucking FGAs.
FGA. Speaking of that, though, that's what that's the key thing Danny told me game 6 back in 08. He was like, most important stats tonight. FGAs. He said, put them up against Kobe. He said, put them up. No matter how you play, you got to be aggressive. I ended up shooting 21 field goals at that game.
See, I remember that, though, because I obviously, you know, being in the league the same times, I remember Kobe used to play you under the free throw line sometimes. You know what I mean? And it kind of clogged the defense up for everyone else for all the curls and all the shit in the paint. And it took you to be more aggressive for him to come out and motherfucking guard you.
Right. So he was the first to do that. Then, obviously, he set the trend. You know what I mean? A couple years later, I think Brown was playing like that in the playoffs. And I mean, they put a bigger guard on me. That type of mentality. So I was like, okay, cool. I got to figure out how to dissect this. I got, you know, this is playoff. Okay, I get it. Okay, now I got to elevate. Because I think throughout the playoffs, no one had played me that way. And then Kobe, you know, that's why, you know, rest in peace, one of the greats. I love competing against him because he understood the mindset of the game and just how to, you know, it was a chess match out there, and I love playing against it with him. You know, and also, you know, obviously got to give Phil Jackson credit as well.
What is it about like you and like J Kidd, like even J Kidd, like y'all wasn't shooters now. Now they can't leave y'all open.
That's what he tell me too. But now this working and not giving a fuck. You know what I mean? Shit. That's what the league is going to.
But on some real shit, that not giving a fuck meter has to be really high. And to me, that's the only thing holding Ben Simmons back right now is that I don't give a fuck meter. And once you get over that I don't give a fuck meter, you good.
The crazy part is you look around the league, this nigga shooting 3 for 17. I'm like, what the fuck?
Come on, for real.
This nigga, they say
that shit go.
Okay, bet. All right, okay, cool. All right, let me get up 12-3. Nigga, I'm a 5 of them motherfuckers too. What you talking about?
Yeah, exactly.
For real. But you got to get over that though. Like you said, what was it difficult for you to get over that? You embraced it right away because you are a pass first type of guy. So was it hard for you to actually take that mentality on?
It was, you know, still at times, you know, it's just my mindset is always thinking open man. But, you know, the way the game is played today, the way I'm able to stay in the league now, like I said, they've been telling me I got to take it. So, like I said, I'm looking for that motherfucker. I'm trying to get him up. You know what I mean? I ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I mean? I'm going to make an impact in the game so many other ways. So, fuck it. I get 3D bitches on.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Rondo. Give me one thing that you can say you actually learned from the Kang. I call him the K-A-N-G, the Kang.
I think I actually learned. As far as game-wise, like we're talking about
or just something you previously didn't know about him. You know what I mean? Like, you hear a lot of different things. Like, what is something you learned from him that you just didn't know? Like, damn, okay.
I mean, I might have to say it's discipline. I
Mm-hmm.
just think it's discipline, yo. Like I said, he got the best guy working on his body in the game, and everything he do is routine. Strategically routine, as far as rest, diet. You know what I mean? Like from top to bottom. Only person other than that was KG, but like I said, LeBron is the way he's daily doing exactly what he needs to be doing. It is unmatched. So it's
It
like
shows.
I can tell you that, but you can't really understand it until you like see it. Like damn, like I see him every day, like, and he ain't taking no shortcuts. Like shit, he own it, locked in.
Mm. Love it.
So
Putting them days together. What was it like going from being a Boston Celtic to winning a championship for the Lakers the year Kobe passes?
it was a lot. This was the emotional roller coaster year. Um, Winning it, for Kobe, the year Kobe passed is unreal. It's something you couldn't imagine. Obviously, me playing against him a couple finals, in the same uniform. So um, it was a tough one. So we all understood the mindset and the goal of what we were trying to attain, and who we were doing it for. So to be able to, kind of like I said, say that and full circle accomplish your goal, it was just a real moment, and it's definitely something we'll be grateful for, I'm sure, the rest of our life. So it was a dope moment. It's been a dope moment despite everything else. You know what I mean? Just being able to share some light in that aspect.
I mean, it's been amazing to me. People talk about this should be an asterisk. To me, this should be a gold star, considering what the world was going through, what you guys had to go through to get in the bubble and stay safe and still carry your message and still be away from your family. To me, the game is 90% mental. Once you get to this level, everyone can pretty much do everything. So who mentally, like you said, with Bron's discipline, or who can really lock in for this time and understand the task at hand? So for all those people that say, oh, this is an asterisk, this shit, man, fuck that. This got to be a gold star, considering how fucked up a year 2020 has been as a whole.
Absolutely. I can't wait to wear my ring. I'm just gonna wear more than I wore my last one. Wear both of them, really.
Yeah. I saw Bron. He did an interview with Richard Jefferson not too long ago, and he said the one thing he was disappointed was not being able to party with his teammates. Obviously, he said the locker room is cool, the parade is cool for the fans, but then, and I heard before this, you guys are a really close team. You guys moved as a unit. So how disappointing was it for you, even though you're an old wily vet and you want to sit at home with the family, to not be able to party with your team? When you win a championship, because those, obviously, them shits don't come around all the time.
That's the time to turn up.
That's the time you get pass. Everybody get a pass. You could turn up.
Man.
So no, it was it wasn't like it wasn't what you would expect. It was difficult. You just gotta appreciate what we did. We didn't get the opportunity to kind of go crazy and celebrate it due to the situations, but that's just how 2020's been. It's just you roll the punches, like I said, as far as up and downs. You take your wins when you can, and understand, some things are uncontrollable. So, we'll reunite. You know what I mean? Like shit, we still out here. So, and it's something they can never take away from us. So it might not be the ideal right after the chip championship celebration, but we'll figure some shit out. And a lot of guys we got on this team, we can make some moves.
Growing up in Louisville, Kentucky, multi-sport athlete. Similar to me, didn't really tune in to basketball until I got older. Like, I watched the Lakers, but outside of that, I wasn't really following college basketball, no hoop like that. I was just out there playing sports. When did basketball become serious to you?
It became serious to me probably with my senior year at Oak Hill. You know what I mean? Like, I played multi-sports growing up. No, I take that back. It might have been serious maybe junior year. I'll say junior year, I would say. But I still didn't know, I mean? I had an opportunity to kind of get to the league, but I understood that, I had a mentor growing up that I met when I was like 15 years old, Derek Anderson. And when I met him, like I said, I'm from Kentucky, so I didn't watch basketball growing up. I didn't watch football. Like, I was outside playing. So we didn't have a professional team in Louisville, and I was just always outside active, so I didn't grow up a fan of anybody or anything. And like I said, once I met him, he exposed me to a lot of a different life, basically. He picked me up. I was like, that's all we doing is chilling there. He worked out 2-3 hours in the morning. The rest of the day he got chill. I'm like, damn, this is what you doing? I'm like, you who? Like, yeah, we drive out to a big ass crib. I'm like, damn, nigga, you doing it? Like, got 7 cars. I'm like, okay, the life. Shit, okay, cool. Work out hoop. Let me focus on. Let me lock in and try to get go this way. Because to that point, I was just out here, with just being 15, 16-year-old kid. You know what I mean, not really, no really goal. Just got a lot of kids in the neighborhood. We kicking, we doing whatever we doing, trying to get through school. So once I met him, my high school coach, Doug Bibby, flew me out to Sacramento to start working out with Mike Bibby. So I'm like, okay, cool. These niggas think I can hoop. You know what I mean? I'm over playing ones against these niggas. They ain't killing me too much. See what I got. Let me focus a little bit more. Then I went to Oak Hill Academy. I got my brother to this day, Josh Smith. And the league, they coming to scout him. The league coming to see this nigga. I'm like, shit, they coming to see him. We had ones every day going at it in practice. I'm like, shit, I can keep up with this nigga. He just, 6'8", but freakish athleticism. But I got some shit too. So once they started looking at him as the league, I kind of was like, oh, I can get this. I can go get it. You know what I mean? That's kind of my mindset. That's when I really kind of locked in. My senior year, I went from damn near ranked 128 to making McDonald's my senior year, and then it was on ever since. I got matched up with a couple, Sebastian Tilford, Sean Livingston. We had, I think, one of the best McDonald classes of all time. I'm arguing that with anybody. So class of 04, I think we had 13, 14 go out of the league, straight out of the league, and go to the league. So once I got to that point, I was like, it's on. I was pissed, really. I had to go to school. Everybody, all niggas went out of high school. I'm like, damn, I ain't even no good. I'm going to Kentucky, but I'm like, shit, everybody went to the league. So I had to go to school for a couple years, and here we are.
It's funny you say something about Oak Hill because going into my junior year, after winning the state championship in Texas, I started getting the name for myself, and I started, looking at basketball more serious. But once I got to Oak Hill, and I got a chance to experience traveling all around the country, playing against the top players, and holding my own, I think that's what made it real for me. You know what I'm saying? Because before I got to Oak Hill, I never thought about making the McDonald's game. I had a dope class too. Kobe, Jermaine O'Neal, Tim Thomas, Rip Hamilton. I had Mike Bibby. I had a dope class too. But going to Oak Hill made me realize that I could make it. You know what I'm saying? I heard you kind of speak on that earlier.
Absolutely. Same. Likewise. Exactly. Like I said, when I got to Oak Hill, got to Josh, we played 44 games that year. 37 were on the road. You know what I mean? So that was just already getting us set. If we did, like most of us did go to college, had that mindset to still be able to do academics on the road and then make sure you get your grades working to the hoop. So we were prepared for it, at a young age. The hardest part was just living on the hill. Shit.
Man, I'm talking about girls on one side, dudes on one side. You can't cross the line. Yeah, gun line, boss. You get caught with a girl, you suspend. Man, yeah, you get caught with a girl, you suspended off the rip. No questions asked.
Right,
bro, that's crazy.
I made it happen though, Matt. I made it happen, Matt.
All right, if any motherfucker sneak a bitch and have her underneath the bed, it would have been you. But anyway, back to business. What was the recruiting process like? You chose Kentucky. You played for Tubby Smith. Did anyone else get a real consideration, or being born and raised from there? That's where your mind was from the beginning.
No, actually, I got an offer from Louisville my junior year before I went to Oak Hill, and I said, no, I'm gonna wait. So a lot of people thought, but never offered me. But I'm like, it didn't really make a difference. I kind of wanted to wait to see where I was at once I got to Oak Hill. So I had